You want answers?
What's that going to set up?
We've got to go to work.
It's the Strat Attack Show. But we're always wondering what the next two is.
Holy shnikes, it worked.
That's something I want to know about.
What's your name, scumbag?
Strat Attack Show.
We're on a mission from God.
Here's Rob Smith.
Hello everyone, I'm Rob Smith, this is Smith in the Black, and if it's Tuesday, we hop into the urban assault vehicle and see what's going on, and unfortunately, not a lot going on. And so over the weekend, I was serving at my church for our back-to-school event, and I forewent the weekend vid because I don't want to put people down the wrong path as well. I mean, I wanted to serve the event, but when things are doing nothing, one of the most important things I got to teach people is do nothing. I mean, in this environment, there's shorter term scalps, but there's just no follow through. And when you have a monthly bar like this, now the hopes was, coming into August, that I'm doing 2 power hours a week. That the hopes was all these things that were close to taking out the July highs could either gone, and so it would either be a good trading and good teaching month, or both, or it's going to turn out to be a good teaching month. One of the hardest things I have to teach people is patience. And what we'd like is nice long red and green bars. And we're now coming into the 10th, and SPY's doing nothing. I tried to take this out. It's still green, but comes back into the range. But it's doing nothing. And if you go to the QQQ, here, it tried, but then comes back in, got a little bit more, but there's just no follow through from day to day. And so that's why a lot of the things are coming down to letting them open, like I always say, and then getting to the strat time report, what's happening, and are we going to have any follow through? And right now, we just don't have it. And if you look at the dailies here, you can see this chop. This is not what we want. We want something like this. We want to see a series of that, which we do not have. So, time frame continuity is not a matter of whether you have it or not. It's how much do you have. And so a lot of conflict out there with the weekly here now being red, potentially outside, but the monthly green and just, almost a doji. So, I'm not going to waste a lot of time today, because if you go through a lot of the monthly stuff and you go to the diamonds, doji doing nothing. If you go to small cappers, they were a little better, but starting to come in. If you go to like FAS, it's doing nothing. If you go to XLE, still inside, right? So a bunch of this stuff is doing nothing. So I'm not going to waste our time with this. We've got the CPI coming out tomorrow. Maybe that gets us moving, because even the SPY here, you go to the daily, and you can see this, just doing nothing. It's doing nothing. We had our inside day, gap down, then come back, then rev strat. And today we had a lot of 2 up, 2 down reversals on a Tuesday. Normally when we see that amount, we get hit. That's not what happened. And so what we're seeing is like strength in the morning in certain things. Let's say if we go to XLE, right, today, strong in the morning coming up. Let's go to the 60s. Oh yeah, we're going to have a big day. And then down, the strong get weak, and then SMH, if we have anything, got hit, and that was pretty nice in the morning, but no follow through in the afternoon, right back up. And so that's what we're seeing when you see this kind of nothingness dojis. You're going to see strength in the morning, weakness in the morning, and then the weakness gets stronger and the stronger get weak and just do nothing. So we've got earnings still to play. We'll see what the CPI says, but you'll always hear me say we like nice long red and green bars. We just don't have them on the monthlies. And if we got to wait, we got to wait. If anything on the SMH, you do have this. You do have the 2-2 reversal on the week. So we're hoping for some more follow through there. If we go to the daily here, still nice and red. And so if we can get some follow through on those weeklies, that's where we start to focus. But if I did a weekend video, one of the things I'll always also say is if you have to break out a microscope to see if something has continuity or has a signal, we don't want it. We want to hop on the train once it's rolling. If you can get something like this, here you go. That's more like it, right? As opposed to, well, even in here, it was green every day. And this was nice, higher high, and then boom, we got broadening formation here, the lower low, higher high. But what I don't want to do is put people down the path of what we call the vortex, of something that's doing nothing, right? Because when things are really moving, we know what to do and we know how to get in. We know, say, triangled out, here we go. Do it again, do it again. So when things are moving, I'm I'll be more like a third base coach when, bases are loaded and we got a hit. I'm going to be the windmill. I'm going to keep going. It's still good. It's still good. Go home. Right now, I got to hold the runners and be like, no, no, we're not doing much here. So the good thing is we can teach during this month, and if things start to go, right now it's day to day, intraday, all that kind of stuff. And if you are proficient at scalping in the strat, keep doing that, and just knowing you got to take your magnitude when you get it. And if you're not, it's a good time to learn your patience. So when they really go, we know what to do. So if we go back to the SPY and we go to the monthly, right here, we know what to do. We're going to be buying. Here we know what to do. We're going to be selling. We know we're going to be selling. All that kind of stuff. Right now, I'm like, what is this doing? Nothing. It's August. We've got no Fed. We've got CPI, and could be a non-event. We got some earnings, and that's always good. So we can stay on some gappers. Because we all got to make a living. But the thing is about trading really is making hay when it's time to make hay. And if you got to, do what you got to do to stay alive, I understand that. But if you don't know how to do that, don't worry about it. It's making hay when things are really moving, because you can make, a whole quarter in a month. You can make your whole week in a day. You can all that kind of stuff. So patience is important. Understanding the big picture, I talk about the vortex a lot, where people are just looking at the intraday, and if you're just looking to scalp for shorter term stuff and you know what to do, that's fine. But for me, I'm like, I want to know when the continuity is deep, right? I don't want to have to look there and make sure this is green. I want to know when that is bright green. That tells me they're buying. Bright red, that tells me they're selling. And more often than not, they go further than you thought. And just ask anybody who's ever said, I got out too early, right? Which is everybody, right? which is everybody. So what we're doing is we're solving that the best we can. But when things are doing nothing, oftentimes, if you ever listen to me in the headset, I'll just be sitting there thinking and looking and scanning and being like, I don't know. I'm not going to put people in bad positions. I'm going to say, if you know what you're doing, have at it. If not, I'm just watching and scanning and seeing where the follow-through might be. And once it occurs, we know what to do. Triangle the out, get in, all right? And that's pretty much it. So I wish I had more for you, but even the nothingness can be an important lesson. And say, look, this is not doing anything. Don't overthink it. Keep all the big pictures up, all right? And say, in general, is this really doing anything? And always remember, the 60 is a major signal. So if you're going to do any scalping, stuff like that, the 60 is a major signal, and that's where we got this here yesterday. That was a nice 2-1-2, and that was a simultaneous break, and so far that's the biggest move of the week, right? Then you get the chop shop in here. Look at all these wicks and stuff like that. Nice little down move here, but then you didn't get any follow through. Then you're red, green, back and forth. So we'll be looking for those intraday 60s. If we can get simultaneous breaks off that, we'll be staying on the gappers. And then as the month goes on, we'll see how things play out as far as, do we get any long red or green bars, or do we get stuck like this? And then as we come to September, do we rev strat the month, 2 up, 1, 2 down, or by the end of the month, do we actually get these breaks to the upside? So sometimes you got to hurry up and wait, and that's kind of what's going on. So all right, that's going to do it for this week. I wish I had more for you, but this is an important lesson as anything else. I'm not going to sit here and tell you things are going to happen that I don't know until I do know. Right now, I don't know. Right? Let's just let them chop around, and we'll play day-to-day, intraday stuff. All right, that's going to do it for this week. I'm Rob Smith, Smith & Black, Strat Attack.
You've been listening to the Strat Attack Show.
It's over.
That looks like I'm running out of time again.
You ever seen a grown man naked?
And now for something completely different.
Yeah. Did you get that memo?
Let's go to Billy Baroo. Here's where they're buying.
Oh, behave.
Here's where they're selling.
Oh, righty.
I'd keep an eye on this. Is that a problem? It is.
You just don't turn it off.
I'm Rob Smith.
I hate Illinois Nazis.
I'm Smith & Black with the Strat Attack.